Hello everyone, it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a fun one. I haven't done one of these challenges in over a year, I believe. I think I did it in November, December 2022, and so I'm excited to do it. No, actually, never mind. It's probably been about a year since I've done one of these challenges. I think I did it in like March last year. That's the 24-hour timer challenge. So basically I'm trying to read for 24 hours, but I'm breaking it up for throughout a few days and reading a bit each day until I read for 24 hours. Today is Thursday, February 7th. I'm gonna start it today and I'm hopefully gonna finish by Sunday. That is the goal. We'll see what ends up happening. I feel like that's a pretty decent amount of time considering I don't have to work Saturday or Sunday, but I do have to work today and tomorrow. I'm hoping to listen to quite a bit of an audiobook today and tomorrow at work. These are challenging, but not as challenging as 24-hour readathons for me because I'm not staying up. I'm not getting that much reading done in 24 hours because I need to sleep and I have other stuff going on, so this is the best way for me to get some books done and dusted. Especially right now, it's February 7th and I have not read a single book in my TBR and it's a shorter month, so this will be a good way to get like 3 or 4 of my books out of the way. Not out of the way, but you know, done and not so stressed about finishing my TBR. I'll probably talk to you guys later about what I'm thinking of reading, but what I believe I'm going to be starting to read at work today is the audiobook of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, because that's on my TBR and I have the audiobook and I've had the audiobook for probably 2 years and haven't read it. So that is what I think I'm going to start with unless somehow plans change. Basically, I just have to turn on the timer whenever I am reading. It's pretty simple, straightforward, so let's just get into the video. I will talk to you guys a bit later. Hello, it is Friday at 6:30 now. I didn't end up starting this challenge yesterday. Listened to like probably the first 10 minutes of Addie LaRue yesterday and I just didn't overly feel like in the mood for it. I think I want to start reading it physically while also listening to the audiobook. But today I started listening to All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I just realized today, or like remembered today, that I have Scribd or whatever it's called, Everand or something now, for like 10 more days. So I need to listen to whatever I want to listen to, or listen to whatever I can before I cancel that. Or before that's gone, so that's why I ended up picking up that one. But I've got about 2 hours and 15 minutes left. I have it on like 1.7 speed because I was at work and people talk to me, so I have to like my coworkers talk to me, so I have to be able to do both. So my timer is 1 minute off of 20 hours left, but I will say there is some like, it's probably off by a little bit just because I did not hit pause every single time I paused my audiobook, because someone would ask me a question, like one of my coworkers would ask me a question and I'd pause my audiobook and we talk for like 2 minutes, if that, and then I'd restart the audiobook. It just was too tedious to do that all day at work. Whatever, I'm not really that fussed about it. This one is about, her name's Nick, and she goes back to her hometown because her dad is dealing with some issues and they had to put him into a home, or like into a facility. Her brother called her and said, we need to sell the house, and so she comes there for the summer in order to help with all this. And flashback to when she was 18, I think she's only like 20, max 25, I think. But back when she was 18, her friend went missing and I guess they pretty much all believe that she probably died. one night after their like town fair. Still no one knows what happened. Like there's suspicion for multiple people, but no one has found out what actually happened, and they haven't ever found her body or anything. It's told like in a interesting way, and I will decide if I like how it's told once the twist happens or once I know the ending, because it's told backwards. It's like we see when she goes to her hometown, and then we flash forward 2 weeks ahead, and I thought the 2 weeks ahead was just because they're trying to pass time, not make it seem like everything just happened as soon as she got there. But it's really because she goes backwards. Each chapter is like 1 day backwards. When we flash forward to the 2 weeks ahead, we find out that another girl has gone missing. She was a few years younger than Nick and her friend group. She doesn't really know her, but she's gone missing as well. Police are coming around her and her family because her and her brother were kind of in the same friend group, and her ex-boyfriend from high school, and all of their friend group. So I'm enjoying this so far. I think it's one of the better ones I've read from Megan Miranda. I've definitely found her books are hit or miss, because there was something like pointing us in a certain direction on the day 15 or whatever, the 2 weeks ahead jump. So it's pointing us to look at someone, and I don't know if that's who does it. I have 2 hours and 15 minutes left. That's what I'm reading right now, but let's look at what I'm gonna look at and read this weekend. This is my attempt of changing the angle a bit to make it a little bit more interesting for you, but without getting up. I'm sorry. Like I said, I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue to read, so I might try and read some more of this tomorrow and jump into that one, because that'll take up like a good chunk of this time. I also want to go to the gym tomorrow, so that will happen. So either I'll listen to this one, or I don't know when I'll finish. I'll maybe finish All the Missing Girls tonight, because it is only 6:49 and I'm only done 4 hours, and the ideal thing would have been to do would have been 8 hours today, 8 hours Saturday, 8 hours Sunday. So this may get pushed a little bit onto Monday, to be honest, just putting it out there. Then I also have If I Stay by Gail Forman. This one is a really short one, 237, shorter book, and it's YA. And I know technically, like, YA, big font. I know this story because I've watched the movie. I'm giving this month as my last chance to read this book, or else I need to get rid of it, because I've given myself so many chances to read this book and never do. And so it's a sign if I don't read it this month, I think. So I feel like this will be a good one to get a quick one not out of the way, but take up some time, but also be productive and finish a book really quickly. I think that'd be really nice. Then also on my TBR is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. This is a middle grade, so again, bigger font and just a little bit maybe of an easier read. But honestly, these books are very in-depth, and like it's a fantasy world, so it's got a lot to it. So I don't read this super fast, and it's not a short book, 420-ish pages. Last time I did this challenge, I think I got 4 books done because I did 6 hours a book, but that was all physically reading, so who knows what this one will be like. Of course, The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. These are all on my February TBR, so they're my huge priorities, so then maybe I can read something else during the rest of the month if I could get, or at least if I could get 3 of these done, and then have the rest of the month to read that one and read something else. That is a big goal of this challenge. I like this challenge because it's fun, but also just to fly through my TBR because I need it. This is the 3rd book in a series, YA mystery. I love this series. I feel like these 2 are my top priorities because I'm more nervous about reading them, or about me getting to them without the pressure of this challenge, whereas I think I'll read these 2 no matter what, especially this one. As much as I want to read this challenge. That's like my TBR for now. We'll see. I think right now I'm gonna go and finish All the Missing Girls, and I need to do my workout for the day, so I'll listen to that maybe while I work out. I just filmed a clip for a while and something was in the background that gave away my address, so I'm mad. So I got home from the gym. I haven't read anything today. It's already 2 o'clock. Well, I started reading, I probably read like 10 minutes of something, maybe 5, before I picked this up and realized I needed to update you guys because I didn't last night after I finished All the Missing Girls. I finished that last night. Basically, my thoughts on it are, I gave it 3 stars. I think I've read a few books from Megan Miranda now, and I think she repeats her tropes and her basically just uses the same characters and just adds like a tiny bit of a twist. The 3 that I've read have been very similar, so I don't think I'll be really reading any of her other books. Like maybe, I'm not gonna say never, but I need to stop like thinking that they're gonna be different. I've just been listening to them because they are on script really easily to just read. I don't find her mysteries particularly great. I think every single one I've given 3 stars or lower. I mean, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it until we found out what happened. Like, if you've read this book, please talk to me about it either in the comments or like DM me on Instagram, because I just don't get how she thought that was gonna be like the best twist. I think with the way that it was written backwards, that was like an interesting thing for them to do, and it was fun, and I don't think it really added a lot or took away anything from the book, so like that's good. But it ended up getting like confusing, and I think that was what it was trying maybe to do, to be so you could never guess what happened, because I don't know how the twist unfolds or whatever, it had to be written this way. But if she written it the opposite way and everything that happened at the beginning actually happened at the end, it would have just been like a normal mystery. I don't know if that makes sense, but the stuff that happened on day 2 could have just happened on day 15, and then it would have been a normal mystery. But I think it was done the way it was done to confuse you so you couldn't figure it out. Because you're like, wait, did that happen yet? Or did that happen yet? Or like, I'm confused because I don't know what this like hint is about, because I haven't heard the stuff from the day before or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. It was fine, but I'm not gonna seek out any of more of her books. So when I finished that, I had 17 hours and 40 minutes left, so that tells me that I definitely was off on the time with like hitting my timer when I was actually reading it at work or whatever, but like I said, I'm not too fussed about it. So that's what I started with today. So I did get 6 hours done yesterday, which is good. I'm gonna try at least get 6 hours done today. Right now, I'm picking up Secret Life of Addie LaRue. This is the special edition at Indigo, with the blue cover, without the cover on it. Very pretty. And I'm just gonna be listening to that, and I'm probably gonna do some like puzzles on my iPad. I love doing those. Maybe I'll pull out a new paint by number that I have, because that's a good way for me to like just listen to the audiobook and not get bored. But I am more interested in reading, or more, I don't know, not interested. Interest is not the right word, but I'm more hyped to be reading Amari and the Night Brothers, so that might sneak its way up to the top of my list for this vlog, because the 3rd one just got announced today, I think it was, or I saw the post about it today, it might have been yesterday, that the 3rd one's coming out in August. So like kind of perfect timing, so it gets me more excited to read this one, and because I know a 3rd one's coming soon. So, and also gives me more motivation so I can decide if I want to get the new one as soon as it comes out, or like whatever. Not that I think I'm going to DNF this series, but if I'm super excited about the third one, or there's a cliffhanger for the second one, or if I think I can wait longer and I don't need to buy it right away when it comes out. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if that made sense, but I'm gonna go finish making my food and reading, and so I'll check in with you later and see how long. I think, let me actually check how long the audiobook for Addie LaRue is. Currently I have it on 2x speed and I've listened to a bit of it, so I have 8 hours and 24 minutes left. So this will take up a good chunk of this challenge, so that's good. It is 11:15 p.m. I'm just gonna do a quick update because I'm ready for bed. But I officially have 10 hours and 59 minutes left. I finished a puzzle right then, like a few seconds before then, checked how much time was left in the chapter because I was gonna finish the chapter, but there was still 10 minutes in the chapter and I'm tired. So I finished it at 10 hours and 59 minutes left, 2 hours left in Addie LaRue. I'm on page 339, so I will finish this hopefully early on in the day tomorrow and move on to my next book, which won't be an audiobook. Actually, I should check if my library has Amari and the Great Game and I don't have to wait for it forever. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, so it actually has not been that challenging to continue. I am a TV girly though, a show girly, so sitting and just reading has not been like, every once in a while I'm like, reach for the remote, but then I'm like, no, I'm doing this challenge and I'm enjoying this book. So I imagine it might be a little bit harder when I'm just doing physical reading tomorrow. So I did 6 hours and 20 minutes or something like that, or 10 minutes, I can't remember. Yesterday I did just under 7 hours today because it was 17:40 this morning was left, and now I'm at 10:59. If the math is wrong in this video, just like, no, I'm not great at math. Not my thing. Tomorrow my goal is to do at least another 7 hours, and then I have 5 hours left on Monday, which is doable. If I can do more tomorrow, that'd be great, but I need to at least do 7. Okay, don't mind, you're gonna say I have no bedding on probably because I'm currently washing all that, so ignore. I finished, and all I have to say is I get it. I get the hype. I was so fearful of this book, and a big reason of that was because I didn't know if I was gonna love it as much as everyone else did, and I wanted to, and so I was like putting off the possible dislike for this book. But I really, really liked it. I would not be surprised if this is in my top 10 or top whatever of the year, because I just thought this was, I don't even have words for it. Like, it's just so complex that it was beautiful. It was heartbreaking. It makes you think about life and your life and everything, which, you know, don't want to send me into a downward spiral, but I really, really liked it. And I can actually, this does not happen a lot, but I can actually see myself rereading this in the future. Did I ever say what this is about? Addie LaRue makes a deal in 1714, and her family friend, I guess we'll just call her, always tells her to not pray to the gods that come out after dark. That's what she ends up doing, and makes a deal basically that she can do what she wants, live the life that she wants, but no one will ever remember her. And it costs her more than she expects when she makes that deal. I wouldn't have thought of it. There's one instance where she has to pay rent at this housing place, and they ask for a week's worth of rent, but then within that same night they don't even know who she is. So she wastes her money because they kick her out because they say she hasn't paid because they don't remember she's paid. Just like those little things, that she can't make money because of that. She can't live anywhere because of that. It's beautiful, and I'm so happy I had like a special edition of it. Forgot to say. And then a big part of this book is finally one day she meets someone who remembers her, and then we follow from there. The only really part that's fantasy is the god that she makes this deal with whenever he shows up, and obviously that they can't remember her, but it just doesn't feel like super fantasy-ish. So if you haven't read this one because you are scared of like, you're not really into fantasy, don't let that deter you, because it doesn't feel like a big part of it at all. I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna give it 5 stars, and I'm happy I read this. And then one of you had commented on my TBR for February, and we're saying like, oh, I'm so happy you are reading this. I have like 1 million copies of it, and I get it. And I get why I knew other people, like booktubers I watch, have like a bunch of different editions of it, so I get it. I want all those pretty different versions. I really like the UK one, but that'll be when I am a little bit more financially stable. I will buy that one for myself. Yeah, I'm really happy about this. 8 hours, 54 minutes, and 24 seconds left on the clock. I believe that gives me enough room to read this for sure, and then one of these. I think I can get 2 more books in. This one, my library does have the audiobook as well, so I could also listen to it. It's only 5 hours, and I assume that's 1 time speed, so this wouldn't take me very long to read, but it should only take me 3-ish hours to read it if I didn't listen to the audiobook. One thing is my library also has this audiobook, but it's like a 4-week wait approximately, so I'm kind of wondering if I should just wait and not read this one yet and see if my hold comes before the end of February, and instead read this one today. Plus it's shorter, 370 pages, 368 pages, so not super long. So I'm thinking these might be the move. Yeah, I've only read for like 2 hours today, so I'd like to read for like 5 more. I cried at the end of this, and I know I'm gonna cry in this. So that's the only thing. I don't know if I want to just get it over with, the crying over with, because I won't cry in this. I'm not listening to the audiobook tomorrow at work, which was kind of my original plan, was to get an audiobook so I can read it, finish this challenge while I'm at work. But I will cry in this. That just doesn't make sense because I'm not going to listen to it at work, because I don't want to cry at work personally. Not my goal. So I don't know. I'm gonna give myself a tiny break. It's 3:13, so I'm gonna give myself a tiny break, and I will let you know what I decide. I'm getting ready for work. It is Monday now at 11:15 already, so I need to hurry up. I didn't end up doing as much reading yesterday as I wanted to. I actually got sucked into the Super Bowl somehow. I didn't want to miss the halftime show, so I kept turning it on in the first half, and then I just kept it on for a bit until the halftime show, which I'm so sad Justin Bieber wasn't in. Like, I know people keep saying that, but like, I'm actually upset. I'm not even like just saying that. I was looking forward to it. So and then I turned it off when I was sad that that didn't happen, and ended up turning it back on close to for like the last quarter-ish, and then the overtime quarter, and was like kind of reading at the same time, but reading slow because I'd get distracted. That went late, so I didn't end up getting as much reading done as I wanted. Just over 7 hours, I think, left. I also just wasn't feeling like I was gonna be in the mood for If I Stay, because it was not grasping me. I think it's because I was distracted by the football game. I'm on page 180, so I have read quite a bit of this. I only have 62 pages left. So I'm gonna finish that in between my 2 shifts today. But I have 6 hours and 24 minutes left. So this will probably take me less than an hour to read, as long as I'm not distracted. Just because it is the bigger font. And less words on the pages. So I should be done, let's just go with let's just say 5:30. And so I'm actually going to not read one of my books on my TBR. I'm gonna read a audiobook because I can listen to probably at least half of it, maybe a bit more than half of an audiobook at my first job today. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today, but if I don't finish it, max I'll have like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours left in the audiobook that I can finish tomorrow morning. But I think I'm gonna go with the audiobook for Wrong Place, Wrong Time by, I think it's Gillian McAllister. I forget if that's the author. I wanted to read this one, but I keep putting off buying it so I can get it for free on Scribd. And if I love it, I can buy a physical copy. Listen to that during work. Come home, finish If I Stay, and then I'll probably have to, that's probably, well, I don't know. Finish that. We'll see if I have any time to read more of Wrong Place, Wrong Time in between my shifts, and maybe a little bit. If not, I'll listen to a bit of it tonight. And yeah, my goal is to have like at most 2 hours left on my timer. But also, if I have, mathematically, I may have like half an hour extra time. I'm not gonna start an extra book, so I might be reading for 23 and a half hours. Sorry, my brain's so everywhere right now. I literally cannot hold a thought in my head right now. I'm so very distracted. I don't know why. I'm enjoying If I Stay for the most part. It's going by really fast. And like some of the stuff I think they switched for the movie. But it's not really different. And I haven't seen the movie in years and years. So like I don't remember how different it is. I would say maybe I should watch it soon, but that movie destroys me. And there's a specific scene in the movie involving her grandpa that if that's in the book, that is when I will cry, because that's, I think, the only time I cried in If I Stay, the movie. But that was before I was such a crybaby. I cry so much more now in like movies, books, TV shows than I ever did when I was younger. I would only cry if it was old people or like dogs, animals. So and then that changed once I like became 18, 19. Then now I just cry at literally everything. So if this scene is in this book, I will cry. But I haven't felt like crying quite yet. So like I guess that's good. Anyway, I'm gonna download Wrong Place, Wrong Time. So it's later now. I ended up staying an extra hour at work. My boss asked me to, and I will take any hours that I can get. Just about home. So I had an extra hour of listening time. So right now, I messed up. I didn't check how much is left on my, I can't. Oh, people are making me mad. I have 2 hours and 18 minutes left of the 24-hour challenge. Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I have an hour and 6 minutes left. Because I accidentally left the timer going for a little bit when I wasn't listening to it at work. Not too long, but long enough. So I don't know, since I worked that extra hour, I don't know if I'm gonna finish If I Stay right now, but I'll finish it when I get back from work, or my second shift for sure. I'm really enjoying Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I think the twists will decide if I like love it or if it's just good. So I will hopefully finish that. I'll probably finish that tomorrow morning. It is the next morning and I finished If I Stay this morning. I had like 30-ish pages left. I ended up enjoying this one. I think I still like the movie better, which is not common. But I don't know if I'm biased towards the movie, and like it's really not that different, and I think what the movie added just made it better. Like I love the music in the movie, which is not random, but like kind of random, and that you just don't get to hear the music. We read lyrics of like one of her dad's songs in this, but that's about it. So I'm glad I finally read this, but definitely like can unhaul it. Now there is a second one still, and I'm gonna read that second one because that will be all new to me since there's no second movie or whatever. I cried. It was good. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I think, is it like the best book I've read recently? No. But there is something to say about like the nostalgia of this for me. Okay, I think I'm getting a pimple right on my lip, or right above my lip, which is oh so irritating. I'm glad I finally read it. And so now officially I have an hour and 26 minutes left on the clock, and Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I have an hour and 6 minutes left. So I should finish with about 20 minutes on the clock left, and I'm gonna finish that at work. 4 books will be read in this, which is really what I thought was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be more off of my TBR, but that's okay. But we'll round this up later. So I'm gonna go make my lunch before work and watch something, probably Criminal Minds, because that's always what I'm watching. Hello, it is later now. I'm home from work. I'm just waiting for my food to be ready to eat for dinner. So thought I would talk to you and close out this vlog, and yeah. This zit on like right above my lip is just getting bigger all day. So I did indeed finish Wrong Place, Wrong Time at work today, very early in, because I only had that hour left, and I ended up enjoying it. I don't think it's like a new favorite, which I thought it could be, but it was still solid. It was really, like, I enjoyed it. Audiobook was like quite good, and I'm glad I listened to the audiobook. And I don't think I need it as a physical book. I know I'm not like obsessed with it, that I don't need a copy of that, but it wouldn't be one that if I had a physical copy, I don't think I would unhaul it, if that means anything to you. But I ended up giving it 4 stars. I don't know if I actually ever said what this one was about. So it's about this woman, Jen, I could not remember her name, Jen, who one day she looks out her window and she sees her son killing a man. And then every day she wakes up and it's a day in the past. So one thing I didn't know is I thought it'd only skip one day. So yesterday, and then the day before yesterday, and the day before that, or whatever. But there are a few times where it's huge jumps. Like closer to the end, there's jumps that are like years. So that was interesting, because yeah, I thought it was just gonna be a few days or whatever, and I didn't think it was gonna take her that long. And so basically she's kind of realizing that she's time traveling or going back in time in order to stop this event from happening. Parts of the twists I kind of guessed. I didn't guess like most of it, so that was nice. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I have another book from that author, just Another Missing Person or something like that, and that one I do have physically, so I will be reading that one and we will see what I think of that one. I can't decide if I actually really liked the ending in the way that like things get resolved. I liked the twists. And I can't really say it without spoiling it, to be honest, because obviously it's the ending. But with the resolution, and like the very end, I wasn't like the biggest fan, like the last few pages. I wasn't like the biggest fan. Actually, at the very, very end, there's like is it epilogue? that was like that was a good ending, I think. And it made you interested again. But yeah, I'm glad I read it, and it was another book down for this. So let's round up everything I read for this challenge. Oh, and I finished with 25 minutes and I think 1 second left on the timer. So obviously not trying to read another book in 25 minutes. So first I read All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I gave that one 3 stars. Again, don't think I'm gonna seek out her books really anymore, but it wasn't bad. Then The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which will definitely go down as a favorite for me, so I'm really happy I read this one. And it was actually in my February TBR, so that's very helpful for me. I'm so happy I finally read this and that it was worth the hype and it wasn't me being disappointed with everyone's hype of this and then me not liking it. So definitely will be on my favorite books of the year this year. 5 stars. If I Stay, another good book. Definitely like the movie better, but I might be biased because of what I read since I watched that first. But I'm glad I finally got to this and didn't have to unhaul it without reading it, but I will unhaul it now that I've read it. I might wait until I've read the second one so I can maybe try and sell them as like a bundle. And I gave it 4 stars. And then I just talked about Wrong Place, Wrong Time. 4 stars. Would recommend for like a fun mystery. It's not super thrilling. I didn't say that. It's not like a super thriller, but I was interested in the whole time. Interested in it for the whole time, so that's also saying something. It is like a lot about family dynamics and like relationships and stuff, so if you're not into like those type of mysteries, like domestic kind of ones, maybe it wouldn't be for you. But it just like, I don't know, it depends on the domestic thriller or domestic mystery for me, because some of them are really misses for me, but this one I think had enough of other stuff that it was good. I love doing these challenges, so I need to make an effort to do them more often. It's hard for me to do them because I definitely need the whole weekend to do it. Let me know down below if you like these challenges as much as I do, and or if you have any other ideas for kind of challenges like this for me to do. And also comment down below if you've read any of the books that I read in this challenge and what you thought of them, if they're hits or misses for you. And I think that's all for me. Make sure to subscribe if you like this video and give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!